Hello children, this is Merchant of Venice, Act 3, Scene 2, and we are carrying on with Part 4. Already Part 3 have been uploaded and this is Part 4. So Bassanio's dialogue, he says, and these assume but valor's excrement to render them redoubted. Here these means the cowards. He says that the cowards put on an external show of courage to make them seem hard to deal with. He takes the another example of beauty. Look on beauty and you shall see it's purchased by the weight. He says when we examine beauty, we will see that the artificial beauty is purchased by weight in a chemist shop, and those who wear most of this purchased beauty, this line, and you shall see this purchased by the weight, which therein works a miracle in nature, making them lightest that wear most of it. Means those who purchase this, they beauty are lightest in character. Then in addition to this, he is also giving the example of so are those crisped snaky golden locks which make such wanton gambols with the wind upon supposed fairness often known to be the dowry of a second head, the skull that bred them in the sepulchre, thus ornament is but the gilded shore to a most dangerous sea. Here he is saying that in addition to the beauty, he is giving the example of the hair, the curly hair. He says that it is the same thing with hair. Curly golden hair moves so nicely in the wind and makes a woman beautiful. But you can buy that kind of hair as a wig, and wigs are made from dead people's hair. Decorations nothing but a danger meant to trick and trap the viewers. He says that the beauty of the hair which they buy from others' head, that head lies in the tomb. It is from the other's head, that head lies in the tomb. So outward appearance is dangerous. It is just like a lovely cunning shore. It can distract a man from the perils of a stormy sea. Just as a pretty scarf that can hide a dangerous dark-skinned beauty. Here, Indian beauty means the West Indians, it refers to West Indians and the Negroes of West Indies. So in short, he says false appearance of truth which the cunning people put on deceives even the wisest. The seeming truth which cunning times put on to entrap the wisest. So this is what he says. Therefore he says that, O gold, O shiny gold, which King Midas could not eat, I shall have nothing to do with you. King Midas, who was an ancient king who was allowed to ask a certain favor from the gods, Midas was very avaricious and asked that whatever he touched might turn to gold. His requests were granted. Then he found that when he attempted to eat, his food was at once turned to gold. So he was in danger of starving to death and had to pray to the gods to withdraw their gift. So he did not choose the gold. Nor with you, O silver, pale and ordinary slave, a medium for exchange of money from the man to man. This is why he did not choose even silver. But I choose you, O lid of small value. You seem to threaten rather than promise anything. Your plain message moves me more than any eloquent words could do, and I choose you. He says that thy paleness moves me more than eloquence. That means more. The plain message moves him more than any eloquent words, and therefore he says that I choose you, and may the result lead me to happiness.